Hello, dear watcher, and welcome to an ABW preview, the Arsenal v Crystal Palace. And with me tonight, it's Mr. Translucent Legs. It's only Josh.
Oh, cheers, Danny. I'd rather that wouldn't be a nickname that would stick, but you know, like every good nickname, if you don't like it, it's gonna stick.
Well, personally, I prefer Mystic Josh. Ah, what a day that was.
I mean, we think back to those heady days of the summer. You know, World Cup fever was going to come upon us.
Harry Kane, greatest player ever to kick a ball.
Oh,
with all the penalties against Andorra or whatever Elu was. It's good. Shouldn't do that because Ellis will come round and poo in my flower box again, and I'm not having that. Right. We're playing tomorrow, as I just said, against Crystal Palace. And where can you see the game, dear listener and watcher? Oh, Naz keeps telling me about that. So, oddly, it's not on UK TV because they're showing Liverpool v... Is it Cardiff?
Cardiff.
Come on, Liverpool. No. I want Cardiff to go down, but I don't want Liverpool to win the league. Draw. Right, so in the USA, it's on NBC Sport. Actually, I didn't check the USA one. I don't know where that is. If I didn't get down to you in the list. Canada, definitely Sportsnet World. Australia, Optus Sport. Ireland, again, not on TV. And this week's mystery country is Japan. It's on DAZN and on SportsNavi Live. So, Josh, head to head.
Yeah. Well, we're home to Palace in the Premier League. We have beaten them, last season was 4-1 with Monreal, Iwobi, Koscielny and Lacazette getting the goals. Season before, we beat them 2-0, Giroud and Iwobi. Season before that, Arsenal, we managed to draw with them, Alexis getting us the goal, and a 2-1 in the 14-15 season with Koscielny and Ramsey. From what I can see there, Danny, looks like Iwobi might be turning up for this game.
He's been one of our most informed players at the moment. As long as Koscielny in play, and we can get Giroud back on loan, it's going to be 3-0. Yep. Maybe Lacazette. I don't know if Lacazette will play.
I think so. We haven't got another Europa League game next week.
Ozil will play, won't he?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't got to go outside the M25, so should be okay for that.
Yeah, it'd be lovely. And current form, yes. So the last 4 Premier League games only. Arsenal at home, played 4, won 4, drawn 0, lost 0, scored 11. We have scored 11 goals in 4 games. We've conceded 1, and that was against Bournemouth, scumbags, when we beat them 5-1, I think it was. And we've had 3 clean sheets. But also, dear viewer, we have won 10 home Premier League games in a row. That is magnificent. I was going to go and look up the last time we did that, and I may well do that and tweet it later. So keep your glasses peeled and your eyeballs trendy, and you might find that later. Crystal Palace away are actually a half-decent team. They've won 3, drawn none, lost 1, scored 4, conceded 4. No, scored 8, conceded 4, and they've had 1 clean sheet. But their last 4 games, this is the new bit, people. I've added this in for context. The last 4 away games were Leicester, Burnley, Spurs, and Newcastle. So one of those teams is decent, and the other 3 are average, I suppose. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think Leicester are a good side.
So what you did there. Yeah, because you told me that wonderful stat before we started, didn't we, about Spurs? What was it?
That they haven't won an away game in 8, or taken any points, should we say, in 8. The last time they did was against the mighty Fulham.
The Craven Cottage Massive. Wow. Stunning stuff. Right, do you want to do injuries?
Yeah, we have a few injuries, as is normal for Arsenal, I think. But we'll go first to Socrates, who is suspended. I believe this is the last game of his suspension. So he'll be back. Cards. Yeah, so he'll be back for the next game. Xhaka is a hip injury. He'll have a late fitness test. The elusive Denis Suarez, whether or not he'll be able to take up his rightful seat now on the bench.
Next to Petr Cech.
Yeah, he's got his towel down anyway, but he'll be having a late fitness test for a groin strain. Rambo, we all saw that his hamstring went in the last game, going roughly for about 3 weeks or so.
Yeah, so Dom called that instantly, and then the reports are exactly that.
Mystic Dom, he was there on the touchline. He basically did it, isn't he?
Emery was on the phone to Dom asking him for his opinion, which is why he hasn't been doing any shows lately, because he's been rubbing players' legs at Arsenal.
Yep. well known. I saw him in the background of that video with Darren Burgess and Mark Schwarzer to make sure they got the trio of Aussies in there.
That's it.
Finally, as well, we've got the long-term absentees, Welbeck, Holding and Bellerin. They're all still out. But
We've got the Torreira thing, haven't we? Which we're not sure about.
Yeah, I was going to say Holding and Bellerin. Well, Holding came back to training this week as well.
Mm-hmm.
He was seen out on the training pitch. Torreira, as you say, Danny, we're a bit unsure because we've seen some reports saying that he might have a late fitness test and other sites just going, we don't know anything about it. Or at least not mentioning his name.
Predicted formation, as well as saying that he could well be out. So I don't know. That was the Metro, I think, said that.
Well, you know what that's like. They give out for free.
Just stick to the grounds.
Well, yeah, maybe not reporting on while Carl can't get trains on time.
Don't do that.
And finally, we'll go into Palace's injuries and suspensions as well. Jeffrey Schlupp, he's out. James Tompkins and Mamadou Sakho. They're all out injured. So, Danny, do you want to go through Palace's formations?
Yes, this has been a bit of a tricky one. Right, they have been playing of late a 4-3-3 attacking formation, and they've done that for, I think, 12 games this season. But before that, they were playing a 4-4-2 double-6 formation. So that's from Transfer Market. So I don't know what any of that kind of stuff means. But in the last 3 Premier League games, they have played 3 different formations. They've played a 4-5-1 flat v City. Most people just play a 1-10-0-0 against City, and they played a 4-4-2 against Newcastle, and they played a 4-3-3 attacking in the 3 games before that. So when they do play a 4-3-3 attacking, they've got Batshuayi plays up front in the Lacazette position, and then you've got Zaha on the left, Townsend on the right, and they play like outside wingers, outside forwards. Inverted. There you go. I can't remember what the names of them are. And then you got unpronounceable. He plays in the Torreira role, and then ahead of him you have MacArthur and Schlupp ahead. But as Schlupp is out injured, they might either go to a 4-5-1 because they're away, moving Zaha and Townsend down to right midfield and left midfield rather than the wings. And with Kouyaté is the one that they used to bring on for Schlupp when they were just doing substitution. So he'll probably come in and be the replacement in central midfield. Their back four has been roughly the same all season. They got 2 of the most, for me, the most impressive fullbacks outside of the big 6, with Van Aanholt at left back, Wan-Bissaka at right back, and 2 of either Tompkinson, Dan and Kelly have been playing at centre back. But as Tompkins is injured, it should be Dan and Kelly. Not Danny Kelly, the TalkSport presenter, but that'd be interesting. Still be more mobile than that who scored for us forever against Everton. He was 102 years old. Right, and they've changed their goalkeeper as well because they're very naughty, Mr. Hennessy. With them in the Premier League, up from the beginning of the season to the middle of December, they had won the latter part of that. They'd won 1 Premier League game in 11 with Hennessy in goal, and now they've got. How would you spell that Spanish bloke's name?
I'd say Gaita.
Gaita. Now he's been in goal, and he is. Actually, the stats for that are coming up. Oh no, they're not.
I believe on Gaita. While you find the stats, we were linked to him when we signed Viviano from Valencia.
There you go. Yes, I've missed out some of this. Oh, there you go. I've missed out this little bit at the bottom. So what are we doing at the moment? We are doing formations. So you can't see the window, can you?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, right, there you go. There's the last bit. Because, dear people, we have found out that in Google Hangout, you can't have cut and paste too much stuff in. So I missed out the last paragraph, which is going to be Crystal Palace players to look out for. So you can do that bit, Josh.
Yeah, and if you avoid the last paragraph, Danny, because that's about Ben Foster.
Every week I forget to change. That should be the Spanish bloke. Every week there's always one bit I forget to edit. And just pretend Ben Foster doesn't play for Watford like he did last week. He actually plays for Crystal Palace. He's just gone today. Change that Ben Foster for Gator bloke.
Okay, so Mihailovic is their defensive. So defensive midfielder. He's got 12 goals in 38 games. I'm pretty sure at least about 11 of those are penalties, though.
I was going to look that up, but yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. Zaha has got 8 goals and 8 assists in 32. I believe he's on a little bit of a quiet patch at the moment.
Bit of a dry spell.
Yeah. Same for Andros Townsend. He has got 7 goals and 5 assists in 41 games. I think 4 of those are in the league. because if anybody listens to Football Ramble, other podcasts are available that talk about football. They're currently doing a thing on whether or not he'll actually reach 5 goals this season. And then we've got Michy Batshuayi. He's got 3 goals in 11 games and has hit himself in the face 0 times since the World Cup. And finally,
it's just for the lols.
Benteke. He is the goalkeeper with the he's the player with the highest XG that hasn't scored a goal yet this season.
Oh, that XG
and that
stuff
is 0 goals in 17 games.
I think I looked at his Wikipedia and he's got 1 goal in 32 games or something like that, all competitions for the last 2 seasons. Oh. Remember, that's the bloke that Liverpool paid 32.5 million for, and he once scored 20 goals for Aston Villa in a season. And I remember doing some pods, we have to get Benteke, he's brilliant. Just shows what we know, very little.
And should we go to their goalkeeper as well?
Ben Foster.
Yeah. Gaita has 20 games, 9 clean sheets, and conceded 19 goals for them.
Isn't it?
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
I think 5.5 million from Getafe, if my photographic memory is incorrect.
Yeah, right. And it's not Speroni as well. He's also been an option for them.
He's played 2 games all season. I remember looking at that and then panicking that some of them might have been Premier League games, but I don't think they were.
No, he is also about 104, so he'll probably come on and score against us.
Or he'll go and sign for Southampton, who have the most valuable collection of antique goalkeepers known to man. They've got Burrock and they got...
That's Bournemouth.
What did I say? Southampton?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Bournemouth. It's all the same to me. It's all down south. That's the arch enemy, isn't it, against your Brighton boys? Right, so that's all the stats. We have now got 3 minutes and 9... I just realised my phone ticks with the countdown timer. What's your thoughts going to be on the game with tactics, and what do you think we're going to do, and what do you think they're going to do? Because they are a half-decent attacking side, aren't they?
Yeah, I think with the way that they counter, they're probably one of the best sides in that kind of part of the division for the counter-attack. We've seen how they kind of can run teams like City close with their games. So I'd expect us probably to go 5 at the back again, just to shore up that kind of wing, have Koscielny and Maitland-Niles again, kind of shadowing Zaha and Townsend, make sure we keep them quiet. With the midfield injuries that we've got at the moment, it could be, someone like El Neni coming back into the side. And if Torreira isn't there, it could be Guendouzi. It's quite we saw in the last game what a El Neni Guendouzi midfield looks like.
Would you rather go for a Torreira and Guendouzi with maybe Ozil playing ahead of them?
Yeah, if he's fit, I think that's the key question. Because it's a doubt. If Torreira's fit, then I think it makes complete sense. We see Torreira and Guendouzi, and then Mesut Ozil come back into the side. We'll probably see both our strikers play again as well. Lacazette, Aubameyang, and Iwobi finishing off that side. I think from the performances we've seen from Mkhitaryan, I wouldn't be inclined to start him.
Would you have a BDI on the Wolves game, which is on Wednesday night at 7:45 away? Would you take that into consideration with the formation that you pick now?
I think so. I think the way that they both like to counter, something
two are good footballing sides, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. The Wolves system is slightly different, but they play 2 up top and 5
Jota and Jimenez, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I've got them both in my dream team. That's the only reason I know why. They used to, up until about 3 months ago, their defensive. I had their 3 centre backs in mine as well, because they were magnificent at defending, weren't they?
Yeah, they've got a little bit looser now. I think now that they've got to the point where they know they're safe. What's their manager? Nuno has kind of.
Nuno Espirito
Santo.
No, that's the Harry Potter spell to make you disappear. Sorry, I always get those two up.
And I think that he's kind of let them open up a little bit more. So they're looking at slightly more attacking. But I think if we go for like Wolves and we kind of sit back and counter against them, I think that's what we'd need to do in that game. So against Palace, we just need to make sure that, we're on the front foot, we're at home, so we've got to attack them. We just got to be really careful, a little bit cautious about that, counter-attack that we've got from Palace.
Palace don't have a midweek game. Their next game is at home to Everton next Saturday, so they can use all of their energy up for the game against us. Oh, Sprony has played one Premier League game. I'm just happened to see that. That's of no
I mean,
consequence.
from their position in the table, they're 13th at the moment, 39 points. There's no tangible chance that they'll end up in the relegation battle. I think that's squarely at Southampton, Brighton, and Cardiff. Maybe Newcastle can get swept in, but at 39 points with 4 games remaining, I'd expect them to pick up a point somewhere, get to that magical 40, and they'll be fine.
In the Premier League, they've lost one, lost one, lost one, lost one in their last 6 games. I might have added an extra digit into that. So they are quite a fun team to watch because you never know what's going to happen. So finally, I think we've extended over the 15 minutes that we should have done it for. What's your prediction for the score?
I'm going to go with a 2-0 to the Arsenal.
Oh, I'm going 3-1 to Arsenal. I think that should cover it all. So, any ideas on the live ABW live show tomorrow?
I think it's Jason John. I think that's a very lazy assumption to go with. But Jason's definitely on
Jason, I remember Jay saying it's the dream team. I said, "What? It's going to be me, Ellis, and Josh." He said, "No, it's going to be him, John, and Aussie Dom."
It is indeed. Yeah,
not the dream
John
team.
And Jace.
Bloody, I was going to go out to Cambridge tomorrow. I missed the game and that, but as it's the dream team, I might even stay in. Tell the child to get lost on that. If you're in Cambridge tomorrow, people, and you see me, I will be doing autographs at £79.99 each, and handshakes for an extra £5. Fist bumps are only £2.50, and high fives, I'll slap you if you try it. Right, on that wonderful note, thank you very much for joining me, Josh. It's been brilliant.
It has been wonderful to talk through the game as well with you, Danny.
Yes, and make sure you go and slap on plenty of emotion if you're going out.
I will. I'm going to get the factor 300 out.
Yeah, I just get factor 50 and put it on twice because I burn like a radish. I don't even know if radishes burn. That's how so much research I've put into this. I put about as much research into this as I have as who plays in goal for Palace. on that bombshell, we'll go away. Thank you very much for watching, dear viewers and watchers, and we will see you tomorrow, 5 minutes after the game. But I shall be in Cambridge sunning it up. Woof. Bye-bye.